Hello, I'm back again for part 2. Sitting here waiting to make my turn. I've made all my deliveries home for kids who don't ride the bus or something is wrong with them and they don't need to get bumped or pushed. So, arriving at the school today, we had police everywhere. And the thing about it is, our resource officers, they're spread it so thin. I can't understand what the county be doing. The resource officer there at Stone Mountain High School, he drives his personal vehicle, and so when kids from other schools come to our school, they don't think we have a police officer there at the time because he don't have a police car. I don't know whether people understand it or not, but police cars help deter crimes, all type crimes. And so with our children, our young men and women, not wearing uniforms and stuff, other kids, they just show up and they mingle in with our kids, and it causes problems. We have the officers who are coming in from different schools. We have our middle school officer, Officer Westbrook, who do an excellent job when she comes to the high school. But the thing about it is, once she leaves her post at Stone Mountain Middle School, anything were to happen there, they don't have an officer at their school. So I can't understand. You cut back the officers and stuff, and you know in here on the south side, all the high schools need at least 2 police officers every day at all times. And there's no reason, there's no excuses for not having that. But today, everything went well. After school, we got the kids out safe. That's our main priority. And that's the main priority of the administration there. But all of this still goes back down to the point that if Dr. Jones had stepped up 4 years ago, came in there and decided to make a change for the better for Stone Mountain High School, you wouldn't have all these issues, because there's so many places at Stone Mountain that he's failing at. You have Counselor Dr. Cox. She's one of the administrators we feel like should be gone too. It took her 2.5, 3 months to get the seniors transcripts ready to get them sent out to the colleges for their graduation. And this is information that's being fed in from the seniors. And Mr. Ward, my goodness, went back to his old school where he was transferred in from Freedom Middle School. And I went over to talk to them about Mr. Ward after a couple of things that came up about him not being able to do his job, not understanding what his job is. I'm really not sure. But when I go over there, the administration, everybody started laughing. And they was like, thank God you all have him. Because here, he wasn't doing anything, the same thing they say at Stone Mountain. Because if you say something about what Dr. Cox is supposed to be doing, it's because Mr. Ward hadn't got the job done he's supposed to be doing, so she can't do her job. If you say something about what Mr. Ward's doing, it's because the teachers are not doing what they're supposed to be doing to get him done. So Dr. Jones, where are you when all this going on, when nobody's doing what they need to be doing to make sure that nobody else's name come up in these conversations, because you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing? And I hope everybody got that, because right now I'm really confused as to why is nobody held accountable for what they supposed to be doing. It's simple. You go to school every day just like you want these kids to come in there every day. You want them to be model students. You want them to sit down in class. You want them to pull out their stuff. You want them to do what they're supposed to do the hours that they're there at school. We want the administration to do the same thing. We know everybody falls into situations. There's nobody perfect. Nobody. But the thing about it is, if this is what you're there for, you need to figure out what it's going to take for you to do your job. These kids, again, I'm going to say they all deserve better. And in order to get better, it seemed like those 3 people, they need to get out. And I'm not saying this because of me. I'm saying this because of everything people is saying. All the notes to be dropped on top of my car, stuck under my windshield. Or I just want to say this to you. How is it you can be a parent and the teachers and stuff, they look at you and they say, hey, you need to stop, because we hadn't had to be bothered with Dr. Jones the whole year. But ever since you start sending them emails, he's here to school every day. And so they look at me and they roll their eyes and then they smile, thank you. So when you're a principal at a school, the teachers don't want you there. You go over to the board and you say, oh, I'm here about Stone Mountain. I need to talk to somebody about Dr. Jones. Everybody started laughing and said, people been coming in here for, you're the 4th year generation. 4 generations of people coming in here to talk about Dr. Jones. Nothing has happened yet. What is it? What is it? Why is it that nobody can get rid of this man and his administration? Because one thing about it, if you make it where the people, the teachers, can speak freely about what goes on at school, the morale for the teachers and stuff at Stone Mountain is so low. You know why? Because of the head. It's like a sickness. It's an illness. What is it going to take to get a strong school? Next year, we want these kids to be able to come into this school and they have a good year. The regional supervisor, Ziegler, I spoke about her earlier. I never met her. The parents tell me, if you're supposed to have a meeting with her, she sent a parent representative to talk to you. What have her so busy? It's not because she's coming around checking the schools out to make sure that the principals are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because if she was, this stuff wouldn't be taking place. You know, it's like this. How long do you beat something and you beat something and you beat something and nothing ever happened till you finally say, I give up? Well, I can say I'm thankful I have time. And I'll continue as long as I can, I will. Because something got to change. Everybody talk about change. Everybody talk about what need to be done. Everybody talk about what should be done. But I think something need to be written into laws where teachers are protected. If they have a head of a school that's not doing what he's supposed to do, and the teachers know he's not doing what he's supposed to do, they should be able to speak out and say, and nobody can retaliate against them. I feel like the students should have a student representative at this school where they can go to this representative and they can talk to him and they can say, I need this to happen, this to happen, this to happen for everybody to be okay. So we got to make some changes here. It's like we're going to do the very best we can. We're going to use what we got and we're going to continue on, because there are some beautiful young kids in this school. There are some brilliant young kids in this school. They are looking for high achievement. In order to get high achievement, they got to have somebody at the top who's going to fight for everything they need to make sure they can achieve everything they need. So I'm signing off now. Thank you very much. This is Pamela Williams. Thank you.